guest is a retired detective with the NYPD with over 25 years of law enforcement experience. He is also a counterterrorism strategist who develops ways to help ease the effects of a terrorist attack. Harry Hoke joins us now with more. Harry, welcome back.
Morning, guys.
What's got your attention?
Well, this Post report this morning that just came out regarding the man that was tackled by some of the people there.
Not yet confirmed by Fox News, we should say.
Right, okay, not confirmed. But if it turns out that it's true that he made that comment, there's supposed to be a second bomb, if that is true, that's going to show there's more than one person involved in this. All right, and it might be, although I'm only speculating, you know, a small cell, you know, in the Boston area.
What, is Boston known to be a place where cells thrive or could survive?
Sure, it's a big city. Anybody can hide in a big city. I mean, we've got people like that all over this country, you know, and a lot of people aren't really paying attention. So this could happen in Dubuque, Iowa.
Sure.
Harry, sorry, Steve, go ahead.
I was just going to say, we were just looking at the video from overnight. The suburb of Revere is where this Saudi national college student lives, and they did a search of his house. They carted off a bunch of stuff, as is always the case, but according to one news source, they didn't really find anything that might be helpful to them. I
don't know.
Yeah.
You know, maybe they're telling us the truth, maybe they're not.
Nothing so far. Well, that was from our DOJ producer who was saying, at least so far, no hits is how they put it yet. But I want to ask you, because there are some reports from some eyewitnesses who say that there were bomb-sniffing dogs on scene at the finish line shortly before the bombs went off. Would that be a standard, you know, protocol that they would employ at such an event, or would that, because there's some chatter online about they knew, they had a heads up, they're not telling us they did, but they must have?
Well, I would tend to think so. You know, if they did have some kind of a heads up, you know, bringing dogs out there. But you got a large event. You got an event that's international. All right, so it would be very prudent for the police department to bring out bomb dogs to just sniff around to see if they can uncover anything.
All right, let's talk about the bomb. They said there were thermal marks, burn marks right underneath where the LensCrafters store is. I don't know if we can see any of that footage. They also thought it was significant that there's a lot of extra white powder there. They say that that shows that it didn't ignite and the bomb was intended to be bigger than it actually was. And other experts have pointed us to the white smoke, not the black smoke. The black smoke could be indicative of a military hit.
Right. Right. Well, I really can't comment so much on how the bomb exploded. I'm not really an expert on the bomb
But if I tell you 144 people were hurt and 3 were killed?
Yeah. Well, you know, this bomb could have probably been a lot bigger. All right? It looks like it's a low-tech bomb. All right? If you can sit and you can watch the video, where the people on the street aren't even affected the blast. The runners themselves
blew up, it seemed.
Right, exactly. And you know, there's a possibility that what they did was they directed the bomb to blow in a certain direction, but they might have screwed it up and it wound up going up.
Now, Harry, here in New York, when we have these big events, we don't have these trash cans. They remove them, and we don't know whether these bombs were placed in trash cans. Some of the initial reports are they're looking into that. That is one of the leads that they're pursuing, whether they were there and they were placed in there. Is that an oversight? I mean, is that something that should never have been there if it was?
Well, you know, why don't we just like pretty much wait to see if that's the instance, because not too many people are talking about seeing garbage cans all. I mean, I was looking.
But I'm asking you about standard procedure.
Oh, sure.
Standard procedure, you remove the garbage cans.
Right, sure. They should not be there because it's very easy to hide a bomb in there.
How about how diabolical it was? And we don't know how they were synchronized or how they were triggered, but, you know, one blows up, and once people figure out, hey, that's a bomb, you're going to go running somewhere. And if you ran one direction, you would have run into the other bomb, which detonated 15 seconds later.
Right, exactly. You know, it's you know, they're saying that maybe this bomb was detonated by a cell phone. All right. To me, I'm sitting there and I'm watching the video. All right. There weren't too many people crossing the line at the time. There weren't too many runners crossing the line to be able to, you know.
Well, but the reports are actually that this bomb went off at the most populated time for crossing the finish line.
Right. That's what it said. But if you're actually looking at the video, there ain't too many people there.
Yeah.
It looks like maybe it's 10, 15 people at the most. You know, why wouldn't they have waited? You know, for more people to be crossing. I know 4 hours is like the time when most people are.
Well, why do you think?
I think maybe there might have been either a timer on the bomb, and it went off in 4 hours, or this guy that they allegedly tackled, all right, was coming by and dropped the bomb. Dropped the bomb at that second.
Dropped it right there.
Right. The bomb went off, hurting him, all right, and then people seeing him and going after him. That's definitely a possibility. If this guy is somehow involved, you know, the bomb might have been in a backpack.
But what do you make about the fact that now there are reports that at least 2 bombs undetonated were recovered by the police? I mean, how it just seems hard to get your arms around the fact that it could be one guy with up to 4 potential bombs. He set 2 off.
Right.
You know, I mean, does it suggest there were more people involved to you?
I'm starting to lean towards a conspiracy of more than one person. Based on that, you've got 4 bombs. Okay, you got, if this statement by this gentleman here in the Post is true, all right, there was supposed to be another bomb, you know, that tells me that somebody else was also involved. So it might be a small cell somewhere in the Boston area.
Well, then what about, if you think it might be a conspiracy there, what's to stop them from having affiliates in other towns?
Well, no, I mean, that could definitely happen, but there wasn't a lot of chatter. Nobody picked up on in the intelligence about this. And if there was affiliates in other towns, I would tend to think if there was going to be explosions in New York, Atlanta, Chicago, something like that.
That's what I was talking about.
That would have happened yesterday.
Is the white. If you see that picture, the explosive experts have said that is the type of material that should have exploded, and it could have been a lot worse.
Right. Yeah, I was talking to Mike earlier, who you had on, who I know from the bomb squad, and he had stated to me that you know, it looks like it was a very low-tech device also, and that the fact that, you know, that could be explosives there. I don't know. I can't basically tell by looking at it. But you had a lot of people who were smelling gunpowder.
Yeah.
Right? They're talking about firecrackers.
Like firecrackers. All right.
But the problem with the marathon is they all had the string knapsacks. You had 17,000 string knapsacks that were put on a truck and dropped at the finish line.
Right.
That is a security nightmare.
Sure, it definitely is. There's going to be big changes in the marathon next year in New York.
All right, Harry Houck, thank you very much.
Thanks, Harry.